Climate change, industry and the growing population have enormously influenced the shift in global food supply chain. As droughts and floods set in to disrupt traditional production systems, inciting famine, food security, malnutrition, global economics have embarked on response mechanisms. Today, government has further confirmed expense of over 350 billion shillings in the current fiscal year to combat hunger that has engulfed prone areas across the country.
By how much money in the budget is actually spent in methods that are not planned for on food. In the last financial year, the government spent about 350 billion shillings just to address famine, the recent famine, using ad hoc methods in the supplementary budget, because we do not have a clear strategy of how Uganda should feed its people. And that's our call. We have a policy that has been for 20 years and not reviewed, a law that has not yet, on food that has not met Parliament. So what we are saying is, can we put institutions, laws and policies that can cater for the right to adequate food in Uganda?
In a previous conversation with Dr. James Achai, a researcher at Makerere University, the position of some of Uganda's most prone regions, such as Karamoja, is debatable. Semi-aridity and a shift in the production model is a key influence, as lack of binding policies and legislation is as well noted.
We are now trying to convert them from pastoralism to a settled agrarian community. It will reach there, but I think it should be gradual. As of now, in Somalia, in Turkana, in that dry belt, the Toposa community, the most adaptive production system for that arid and semi-arid area is still pastoralism. People don't want to hear this, but economics has even proved that sanity will only prevail if we allow those people to practice what they grew up practicing.
We don't have, even within the Constitution, the right to food, even though mentioned in the bigger laws, it was not catered for. So, to a large extent, the right to food is not realized because of also all these instruments and the institutions that would manage it even properly. You saw what happened during the COVID time. You see, it took a lot of time before government intervened. And when it intervened, the responses were probably less than adequate.
Food security experts and observers have, however, challenged the government to create institutions and improve food safety rules that will govern the entire food system.
Imagine living in a country where even things that will end tomorrow have institutions, have laws, have up-to-date policies, but something like food that is central to everybody's well-being, we do not have an institution, we do not have. Our policy is 20 years this year. Imagine, we do not have a law, and so our resources or our investments are very difficult to be monitored or even harmonized.
When you are dealing with food, you will need a one-stop center that will ensure that there is sustainable and adequate food for all Ugandans at all times. But we are dealing with a situation where we have plenty in many areas, and yet there is lack in other areas. And while other people are dying of food-related diseases and obesity, others are dying of malnutrition. We need to strategize and have in place adequate laws and policies.
According to a 2022 estimate by United Nations agencies, World Food Programme and Food and Agriculture Organization, up to 3 billion people do not have access to healthy food, while 0.1% are hungry. Malnutrition and stuntedness affects around 149.2 million children under the age of 5. Naomi Mtumba, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.